Hi everyone, and welcome back to Laura Larsen Organizing, your channel to get organized for a more fulfilled and productive life at home and at work. It took us a while because we had other things going on in the last 2 weeks. You saw the podcast and the book release, but today we're coming back to the roots, let's say, because we are still missing the last category in the full Marie Kondo organizing process. We are still missing the sentimentals. And if you have missed the first videos, we did already close together. We did books together, we did paper together. We had several videos on kimono. We did one video where we did the stationaries and tools. We did one video where we did the bathroom. We had a special release for the kitchen category, which we did with another client together. And today we are at the last category, the sentimentals. And the interesting thing is, what is sentimentals? And this is a category which is basically not defined, because by having done everything else so far, it's kind of that you decided what sentimentals is, because it's everything which is left over so far. Because sentimentals can be for everyone something different. It can be stuffed animals, it can be pictures, it can be letters, but literally every object that, while organizing through all the other categories like clothes, books, paper and kimono, all the items that you during this categories identified as sentimentals, because they have a sentimental value for you, because you felt like you couldn't sort them out or you couldn't sort through them during the other categories, we pushed them into the last category, which is now here. And so now you're actually a master already. You know, you made it through all the categories before. You organized your entire home and everything that's left is just these annoying boxes with this heavy mental load of your sentimentals. And you know already now what you want and what you want to let go, because you, doing all these categories, you harnessed and you strengthen this feeling, this muscle of what you want to have in your life and what not. So now you're ready to tackle the most difficult categories of sentimentals. So take your time. Don't rush through this, even if it's like physically not that much. Plan enough hours for that. Otherwise, schedule it over a couple of days. Take your time to really do this, because this is kind of the, in German we say the dot on the I, to finish this whole Marie Kondo experience. And even if your flat seems organized and just some sentimentals are left, it's a really important category. So don't just not do it and just hide these things behind the boxes. There's a huge value if you go through these, and I will explain you that when we go through it during the video. Step number one, as in every category before, and probably you heard this now 1,000 times from me, but it's good if it's like really in your brain, is step number one is, what's your goal? What's your vision for your sentimental category? And now you're wondering, like, what should be my vision for the sentimentals? But you know, it's actually, your sentimentals are not something that you stuff in a box and put them somewhere really up high in your kitchen shelves or some other shelves, because I bet that's where most of your memory boxes are. But then I wonder, it's your most cherished items, you know, the things that are closest to your heart. That's why you put them all in the last category, because they mean so much to you. But then you just shove them in a box and shove them up there. So the goal of actually dealing with the sentimentals category is, on one hand side, to declutter, to sort out things that are just not that close to your heart anymore, or you want to make space, but also it is to value whatever you decide to keep. And therefore also let me remind you that this sentimental category is especially about quality over quantity. You know, if you keep every 20 birthday cards that you got from a friend, there is a high, really, really high probability that you will never look at them again, because they're just too many. But if you keep 1 or 2 or 3 which are really close to you from a year where it meant a lot, or you remember the birthday party, or you had a really hard year and this friend just wrote a nice text for you, then you can place it somewhere where you actually can see it, where you can walk by it, where you can actually like integrate in your life, because then you place it somewhere where it actually brings you happiness, not just in a box. And if you now don't envision a home where there are cards and sentimental things everywhere, then put it somewhere in a box where it's reachable. When you have a down day, where you like can pick the box up and like open it and just read all the nice cards and messages, or while preparing for this, I already peeked here in a card, which from the outside, I wouldn't even remembered it, but there was a text from a former coworker of mine where she told me how great it was that I was her colleague and how much she learned. And I was like, I forgot about this card, but this actually, in like moments where I'm so insecure about what am I doing, like helps me. So I want to like place this more visible. So this is my vision for the sentimental category, that I want to declutter on a level that I'm able to like visibly be in contact with all my sentimental items. That's my goal. And I started already. Step number 2 is to pull everything out and sort it in the respective subcategory. And as I said, sentimentals, they don't have specific categories, like kitchen, where you put out all the cooking items and then the eating items, and then you have subcategories of pans and pots and whatever. Because sentimentals, it's whatever you define as a sentimental item. But there are some subcategories which go along for a lot of people, which are photographs, letters, art, documents from your children, and stuffed animals and birthday cards and everything's certificates. These are like some categories which probably will be for a lot of you. So put them into piles. And also, so for example, we are not the big photograph person, so we don't have a lot of pictures flying around. We have some photo books. But so in this video, I won't cover photos a lot, but let me say you something to photos. Maybe it's better to take for sorting out your photos an extra day, because there's such a big category and it will take so long. But if you are sorting through your photos, make sure you sort them through the year, through the months. So like you sort them not just on a huge pile of photos and go through them, but sort them as logically as possible in their respective year and month and week maybe, or on this vacation, and then go through them and ask yourself, how many pictures from this one vacation do I need? Do I need a picture from every day, or do I need maybe 5 pictures from the vacation, which are just my absolute favorite? And because looking at one picture brings most of the time all the memories back. And before I get started, one last comment. While we're sorting through through sentimentals, is have in mind while you're sorting out, life is about keeping memories, not things. So if you're sorting out a card, or you're deciding something like, like this card doesn't mean that much to me, or I don't even remember the moment, and I just, I want to declutter to really cherish the things that I'm keeping. You're not tossing away the memory. You're not tossing away that colleague. You're not tossing with the picture. You don't toss the vacation away. You don't toss your childhood away if you're not keeping the stuffed animal, It's about keeping the memories. And these memories, you will always have something that can be enhanced by sentimentals. That's why we keep them, to think of these memories. But it's not, you don't lose it if you just sort everything out. And with having that said, now we're actually starting to sort everything into categories. So what you see, what I did here in super speed for you, is not sorting out, but just sorting everything in the subcategories. So I have here pictures and cards and notes and like memories, and I sorted them after people. I have here all the things that I have from my dad, including the teeth that he pulled me once, and I have all the cards from my sister and from friends, and all moments where I lived in Paris and Singapore. And so I did them in these subcategories. And now I will continue first putting everything else in subcategories. But this kind of sorting, because you see that I didn't sort all the photos together and then all the cards together. I sorted them through people, because especially if you see them in combination with everything that you have from that person. For example, these are all the cards from my husband, and I sorted through them once already. But he just loves writing cards, and I love this about him. But the more I have, the less I can actually value. So, no, this is not even from him, it's from my sister. It helps me just, when I see how many cards I have from him, to see them in the bigger context, to say like, okay, And maybe I just keep a few of them to keep the memories. Like some, because he has some cards where it's like, hey, you rock this, you can do this. If I have 5 cards of them, then I just pick the 1 card where he wrote that. So that's why I'm sorting everything after person. But that's just a way that I do it. This can also go. Yeah, that is like the status quo right now. And now I will go, after I sorted through all the paper stuff, I continue with piles from travel goods and everything to sort them in piles first. So, and also now while I'm sorting through the more physical stuff of my sentimentals, I also make different piles, not in their sections, but in things that belong for me together. For example, here are memories for my bridal shower, so I put them together. And then there are gifts that I got from my nieces. And here I got memories from the Santiago that we hiked. Oops. For example, so I put them together, that when I then, this all belongs together, that when I'm done with this, I can, it's actually easier for me to see like, okay, I definitely want to keep a memory from my bridal shower. Do I need a random napkin, or is it more such a cute memory because we did a Mexican style, because we got married in Mexico, so we got a Mexican style piñata for my bridal shower. So is that the better memory? But I can better evaluate if I see it in the context. So that's how I'm sorting things right now before I sort out. So what I did now is that what you see here is all the memories that I brought back from travel. There was this thing that I just did where wherever I travel, I bring a small souvenir, like from Sweden, the Dala horse or the clock from Rouen and from the Camino. You get you get it. And I love them. I love them all. I remember them all. I also labeled them from what year I was there and where it was. But also what I did is that I specifically separated these now from other things, like more physical, not card things that I have here. For example, like these things. You know, this was my first door sign when I moved out. And also as I lost my last name. It's a really great memory for me. But I want to keep it separate because I want to create a whole travel box where I just have all my travel memories in there. And so I separated them because I want to store them somewhere else. So, and now is step number 2 is done. We have everything out here, which is sentimental. We go to step number 3, which is sorting out. So now I will go through every single small pile and just keep what makes me happy and sort out what I can let go with gratitude. So in case you're wondering what am I doing here, how I'm doing this, I'm going now through each pile one after another. And but how do I sort out? You saw that some cards I toss away, some I keep, some I'm reading through it. So first of all, it's okay to read through them because you know some cards, they just don't tell you anything, read through them and then decide. I mean, especially if you know, okay, I have like 4 or 5 cards or sometimes 10 cards from one person. There are just some cards where there's like happy birthday or it's a postcard from where they went on vacation and I love them. They made me happy at the moment when they gave it to me. They have a beautiful motif on the cover or whatever. And then the card fulfilled its purpose. You know, it's like a gift. I received the card. I was so happy they thought of me that moment, that they took the time on vacation to write a postcard. And that fulfilled the moment. Then it's okay to put those cards away. But then there are some cards, like this one is a pile, where a friend, for example, asked me to be her maid of honor, which was just an honor. Maid of honor was such an honor for me. So I could never put this card away. Or here she wrote me a text about how important I am for her and that she couldn't have imagined the year without me. And these are just like texts which are really close to my heart, which resemble the person that I am and I want to be. And also, I always have in mind this moment when I'm feeling down, I have not a good day, like to put out the box where, or the folder where I keep all these cards and read through them and remind me of all the great people I have in my life and the great friendships and the great things that happened. And so these are the cards that I'm going to keep, which are, you could actually call them evergreens. You know, some cards are meant to be for this year, for this birthday, for this occasion, but some cards are evergreens. They define your life. They define the person you are. So, and these are the memories that I'm actually keeping. So this is how I'm now going through this card. And also I went through some pictures, and some pictures are just like great memories of moments that I never want to forget. Some are also memories that I was about to forget. And I was like, when I look at them, I just feel happiness. So this is the picture I can stay in. And there are some other pictures where I just think, well, there was a good day, it was also kind of a random day. I don't even know why this picture is printed out here. And so this can then go. It has no reason. It doesn't mean that I don't love the person or I don't love the moment. It's just with this really special, you know, quality over quantity goal that I'm having in mind, I want to focus on the really special things and not on the 80% special things. So this is the way I'm sorting through things here. All right, it doesn't look like it yet, but I sorted out a huge pile of things over there. And now I'm sorting things back in. So as I said already in between, I went through all my memories, travel memories. So they are all going to be in one box. So I really have just one box of all my travel memories. So that also purposefully I can take it out and look at all the places that I've ever been. And that's what I'm starting with now. So, and what I did now in the box here is here I stored some more personal memories, like shirts that we made for our engagement, or my coat for the wedding, or socks that our nieces made, or my nieces made for us, or the a medal for me running a half marathon, which I will, maybe I'm gonna do it again, but not that probable. And some jewelry, which also really means a lot to me, but I just don't wear it, but it's in here and it makes me happy when I see it. So make sure when you're creating these boxes that it's really a happy moment for you to open them, that they are not things where you think you're supposed to keep them. Or for example, this bag, which my sister made for me. Make sure that you don't just store things because you have the feeling you have to store them. Put things in there that you're really excited to take out this box and like cherish as memories. That it's fun for you, not like, oh, I'm happy that my memory box is actually up there, so I don't need to deal with it. So that you already, when you glance at your memory box, you get this exciting feeling, and therefore you have to deal with some harder emotions which come up, but it's actually worth it, because if you manage to tackle these really hard category of your sentimentals, to let go of things which really are not you, that also means that you stay on top of your relationships, you let go of people that no longer serve you, that of things that pass which are just not you anymore. So this is really like the tip of the internal transformation process that you're going through with the organizing process. I used to have cards in boxes, but what I realized is that I just never look at them because I forget what they're for, I just don't open them, and somehow they just end up in there and I don't really integrate them in my life. So I got a binder, and also I got these kind of foils. They are half split, there are also some that are quarter split or whatever, you can even just use normal ones. And I put the cards in there so that when I open the folder, directly the things look at me with the reason why I keep the cards, and also therefore like a special reminder I don't put the cards in like this because it says, you made it, congratulations. There was a card that my dad got me for finishing my master's. I'm gonna put the card in like this because this is his personal text, that he always believed in me and that he congratulates me to finishing this master's. So I'm gonna put it in here like this. So when I open this, all these things, when I doubt myself or I don't know what to do, I can just open the binder and see all these positive, it's not even affirmations, I mean, it's things that people told me or said about me, and nice memories of love. So that's how I saw them, that when I open them, I can actually recharge. That's what the sentimentals are for.
How do you feel?
Exhausted. Sentimentals is not easy, and also I'm not young enough anymore to work on the floor that much. But did it. All the sentimentals in one binder and 2 boxes. And I actually, as in every video, you know, I did the Marie Kondo process already in 2020. And now, 4 years later, we redid it and I sorted out a lot of stuff and a lot of cards, which actually is good for me to get rid of clutter and still feel happy about the result that I kept. And I have my box with all my cherished memories of special occasions. I have my travel box with all the souvenirs. Maybe one day we'll have a home where we can display them all in a curio cabinet, as I learned, is that called, or wherever. But till then, I keep them safely in a box. And this binder especially makes me happy because it's very reachable on our bookshelf. And here I gave all my favorite cards or things that I got a special place. So yeah, Sentimentals is done. I know that me going through Sentimentals won't be the same as you going through Sentimentals. You see, I even have a special binder who says Erinnerung, that means memories in German. So my Sentimentals won't be the same as for you. Maybe you have tons of photo books or pictures that you have to go through. Or I once had a client who had boxes and boxes of kids' art pieces. And that was her really hard mental challenge and emotional challenge to let go of some of them so they don't just rotten in boxes in her basement, because there was just, I think there's no palace in the world who could hold all these pictures that this kid was drawing for her. But so it might look different. And also I went through the areas that referred to me, but maybe there are some areas that I didn't mention in this video where you have questions. So please feel free to comment, or if you have questions or need special assistance regarding some things to let go, because I know it is a difficult category, feel free to reach out. And these are my final words. Stay tuned for some other really good videos coming up. I actually organized myself to make topic of the month. So this is what we're going to continue now in July with the videos. And I hope you liked this mini series of how to following me through the Marie Kondo organizing process of my own home as a KonMari organizer. And yeah, I wish you good luck with your organizing process, with your Sentimentals. If this is the first video you see, check out the other videos where we follow the right order. And yeah, until then, I wish you happy organizing.